What is going on, everybody? BobbyFi back with my man, Eric Sheets-Haber. We are going to be doing a Fanduel little lineup builder show for you. We just did a DraftKings one. If you haven't checked that out on the YouTube channel. At the same time, I also want to remind you guys, 4 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to be doing a QLTV show. And having said that, Sheets, what are your first thoughts when it comes to Fanduel? You're the Fanduel master these days. Let's go.
First of all, if you wanted, we did a quick review of the Fanduel build from the results from last night's Fanduel lineups on the DraftKings show. So we don't have a lot of time to get to it on this one. So if you want to access Bobby's the DraftKings show that he just put up, that'll go over the Fanduel review from last night. So looking ahead to this slate today, I guess the first thing we should just talk about again is since we're at the point guard position to figure out whether De'Aaron Fox is going to be in or out again, because if in fact he is going to be in, he is again going to look to be a really, really strong play. Probably one of my, I guess I have like 3 guys at the top for me as far as my favorite plays at point guard. One is going to be Fox, the other is going to be Morant, and the other is going to be Trey. I don't really have obviously they're different price points, but I do like all 3 of those guys. After that, I'm not as much on I like those guys actually better than Luka today. I don't know how you feel about that, but Luka's definitely in my top 5 or 6. But I like Trey at that price better than Luka. The good thing about Luka is if you play him, you get to play him with Butler and get some correlation there. But I do happen to like Trey more. So for me, it's Trey, Fox, and Morant. And for the purpose of this build, I just put in Fox and Morant because I'm still kind of tweaking around a little bit. If I had to go down a little bit to my next group, it'd probably be somebody like Lonzo Ball. Where are you thinking?
So basically, I just think Luka's the best play. I don't think it's really that close to me. But the next would be Trey for me. So that's sort of what I'm doing. It's going to be the majority of my lineups going that route. Obviously, if Fox plays, I like him. Conley's fine. Everybody's going to play him on DraftKings. No one's going to play him over here. Just looking at some other, people are going to like Dinwiddie will stand out over here as a cash game play. I think that's fine. I like Markelle Fultz for tournaments, actually. I think that he at 5.6, I didn't talk about him too much on the DraftKings show at 5.9, but I still think even over there, he makes a lot of sense to me on both sides. I don't mind Darius Garland as a spend down, but for the most part, I'm just keeping it simple and playing the 2 guys at the top who I think are the best plays.
Yeah. As far as ownership goes, where do you think ownership's going to end up? Now, again, presuming Trey plays and presuming that Fox plays, you think Booker, do you think that Luka's going to be that popular?
No.
I don't think so either.
I have a feeling it'll be like in the 20s.
Yeah. If he's lower than that, then I'm going to be forced to change my mind a little bit. I don't know why I'm into this freaking Morant play. Maybe I'm just.
No, I get it. I think it's reasonable. But just don't feel like surprised if he puts up 20 fantasy points. Like the guy literally almost never gets there, but when he does, he really gets there.
Yeah.
But I love him at 5.8. These are really high upside play. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And I could play Fox with him. But then again, I don't get to play Luka. All right, so what I'll do? I'm going to play Luka in a lineup without Morant, and then I'll play Fox with Morant. I got that.
There you go.
So at the shooting guard position, wow, again, I'm facing the same dilemma, aren't I? So you got a guy who I always like to play, and he's like 50%, and he looks fine. He looks good. He looks to be the best play. How about that? Booker looks to be the best play, but I don't think by leaps and bounds, man. I don't know if he's the best play to justify 7,500. I have no problem playing Butler at lower ownership. I have no problem over here playing LeVert at lower ownership. Like to play a LeVert Trey lineup would make a lot of sense to me over here. To play a Beal lineup with a really, really cheap guy who I hate at the small forward position, Bojan, makes Beal kind of an appealing play at night. You know, it's expensive. I mean, imagine him being 1,600 more than Booker, but yet still, I can go to him, or I could even play double. I could go double shooting guard from that game and go freaking Mitchell and Beal in that, and not have to play Booker. I don't know, man. This Booker thing's gonna end up being the death of me tonight.
Yeah, I mean, just you don't need to get off all the chalk. There's a ton of games on this thing. If you like Booker, play him. If you don't play him. Because I really feel like there's no reason to get too married to anybody, but at the same time, like there's also no reason not to play a chalky guy because there's 500 million places to pivot. So I'm not worried about eating chalk on these kinds of slates in general. If I like the play, I would agree that it's not. I don't think he's leaps and bounds as much better as in terms of ownership. But I do think that shooting guard is not nearly as strong as it has been. And you could take shots on Devontae Graham again in that horrible, it's going to be a tough matchup. I like Bradley Beal at no ownership. The guys who I have the most of, though, are going to be, Booker, Butler, and LeVert. Not really a whole lot different than how I have it the other way. I do sort of like both Fournier and Beasley over here a little bit better. And I think they're both in play. I don't love this position the way that I have every other day, but that's sort of where I'm looking, just between those groups. Beasley, I just like his aggressiveness and his upside, and he's going to be unowned. Probably only looking at like 40 as an upside, but I think it's a pretty reasonable chance at it. One other guy who we didn't mention is Kevin Huerter and Bogdanovic. They're both so cheap that I think that they're both strong plays. I guess there are a lot of options, just nobody I feel like decisively that much better about than the others, which is why naturally I would go to Booker and Butler. But in terms of off the board, maybe lower owned ones, I'm looking more at LeVert and then the Huerter, Bogdanovic, Bradley Beal, that sort of grouping for lower ownership. I'm fine with Fred VanVleet, but I'm not going to over prioritize it. I just think there's other plays I like a little bit better.
Anybody else at shooting guard here?
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
It's just a good matchup, and he hasn't done anything for us, but it's a good matchup.
Yeah. Speaking of not doing anything for anyone, I will say this: the good thing about this is that, and I know this logic is a little tortured, but the good thing about playing Bojan Bogdanovic tonight, okay, at probably really high ownership, probably like 15, 20% plus. I mean, he's 4,800. Here's the deal. If he can't get there against freaking Washington at 4,800, then the good news, you just never have to play him again. You know what I mean? I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, the position stinks unless, okay, well, the position is, if you want to play Giannis, you can get him in. Awesome. I think he's a great play. But aside from him, my next favorite play is also going to be chalk. And someone you liked on draft, I presume you really think I presume you love him on Fanduel, is Taurean Prince at 4,300.
Yeah, he's the guy for me.
So I think both those guys look like really good plays. And Bojan, to me, is how can he not get 30 fantasy points? I guess you could say that every game he's played in the last 3 weeks, but it seems like a ridiculously easy spot for him.
Yeah, I like him a lot here. Just play the double revenge narratives. Play him and Taurean Prince. There you go. Boom. Job done.
You told me that just 10 minutes ago, and I already forgot that Bojan played for them.
Yeah. And I like Giannis over here. I don't think you need to get too creative at this position. I also like Brandon Ingram. I think the price is reasonable over here, and I like the matchup. I don't think I'm going to be playing as much Miles Bridges today, but I get it. Kevin Porter Jr. is the other one, the other low-price guy that I like for upside. So just really keeping it to those four mostly. Prince, Giannis, Ingram. I'm sorry, there's five. Bogdanovic and Porter, with my favorites being Prince and Bogdanovic.
Did we ever I don't want to spend too much on this. Did we talk about Lonzo Ball at all?
Yeah, you mentioned him as point guard. I think he's.
You like him at all?
Yeah, fine.
He's going to come up in some game stack issues for me. Okay.
It's just a game stack thing, but I don't really like. Yeah, he's a solid player. I like him.
Okay. All right.
Oh, Will Barton is the one other guy we didn't mention. I kind of like him at 5.5. And honestly, I'm not going to hold it against you if you want to play either, DeAndre Hunter or Paul George. Again, we didn't talk about Paul George over here. We did talk about him over there. DeAndre Hunter, Paul George, both also stand out. I actually like small forward over here a little better than I thought at first glance. DeAndre Hunter has an upside at 4.3 also as a pivot off of Taurean Prince.
Taurean Prince is going to be, I guess he has to be chalky at 4,300, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Moving on, I guess, to power forward. It looks to be like there's a lot of bunching up here. Like I think there's a lot of guys that you can play. So I mean, these two opinions of mine, it just kind of makes sense because they're in the same game. So for me, I like Love and Williamson. I like a lot of guys. I like Collins. I like Nance a little bit. I like a little bit of Jared Allen. I do like some Christian Wood also. And if you want to go cheaper, you could play Naz Reid maybe. But I think that if I had to pick like a core to start with, I like the correlation of having Love and Williamson in the same game. So that's why I happen to put these two guys in. But if I'm going to be honest, I mean, I think all the guys I mentioned are going to be in my sights, like Love, Collins, Nance, Zion, maybe some Jared Allen. Maybe Jared Allen is part of a game stack. And if I'm going to Christian Wood, I don't know, is he going to be popping on Fanduel also?
I wouldn't worry. I mean, like you just named 9.
I'm not worried about it. Yeah, exactly. What do you think about power forward?
Not like in love with Christian Wood as much, but I do like the other guy. I like Dario Saric. He'd be the number one for me, I guess.
He's so chalky. Really, we like him, huh?
You can't just play this anti-chalk game on these giant slates. You have to. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, I'm differentiated already in like 5 positions on this.
No, but what I mean though is, I mean, he definitely rates to be that good of a play. You know what I mean?
30 minutes, he's 3,800. You know?
Okay.
Like I don't know. I like him. I like Naz Reid also. I like Kevin Love. I probably am skipping Aaron Gordon over here, although I definitely get it because he's on the tear. I like Bielitsa at 4,800, even though I don't like the back-to-back, so I'm probably not going to have a ton of it. I like Jared Allen. I mentioned him before. I think this is a really high ceiling matchup for him. I actually think that he might be the sneaky play if you want to get some of that Atlanta exposure. And then other than that, yeah, some Christian Wood, but I like Zion. I think he's going to be under-owned over here. And I just think that's a mistake. So I'm going to play some Zion. Mostly, I'm just looking at all my overall ownerships over here. Love, Saric, Zion, Reid, Allen, Bielitsa, Wood in that order for me as of this moment. And then I'm going to actually just throw in a little diener of Larry Nance Jr. because I like him in this game environment.
Yeah, I really like what you're doing, by the way, about your approach to this slate. Like when I start bringing up these guys, because as we went over this with DraftKings for just a few minutes when we started, when I said, look, there doesn't seem to be that obvious out here. So as a result, it looks like ownership's going to be, I guess, spread around enough such that you don't need to go too crazy with throwing guys out if you like them. It's like, could be one of those slates where you just pick who you like and the ownership is really not gonna stick it to you too much.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. One guy we didn't mention, long shot, really long shot play, Michael Porter Jr., 3,600.
Ooh.
That might be one of those really sneaky, seemingly unnecessary because people are all going to play Saric. But there's definitely a path that Michael Porter Jr. outscores Saric by 10 to 15 fantasy points.
Yeah. We didn't talk about the other Porter, though. Did we like Kevin Porter Jr.?
Oh, we did talk about him. I said he was one of my guys.
Oh, you liked him too. Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, he is one of my guys. Ooh, but okay. Jared Allen, baby. I feel like this might be a Jared Allen game. I might just keep getting a little bit more of him as we go on.
He's going to be low owned again. He always is, right?
Yeah, but he'll have some ownership today. I think people know this is a Jared Allen type of game.
Really?
I do.
Right, because they're playing Atlanta. Okay.
Yeah, speed, Atlanta, rebounds to go around everywhere, block shots, all that.
We didn't mention, I mentioned just in passing, just one of my guys, but would you like John Collins at all?
I do like John Collins. I would prefer to keep it more as a part of a stack just because that's sort of like, I mean, today when it's sort of these great plays don't stand out as much, I'm trying to correlate and find those reasons to do that. I just like some other power forwards better than I like him, but I do like him. I think he's a good play. I think he's going to be pretty popular, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, he just had a huge game recently, right?
Yeah, but I guess not too crazy. Yeah, I mean he's reasonable. I'm not like excited about it though.
Okay. All right. At center, the guy who is rating to be probably the best value is going to be Gobert. Playing Washington, it makes a lot of sense. And, you know, again, it depends on how much you value recent performance versus, you know, matchup / you know, long-term performance, because, you know, he certainly hasn't done a lot in the last couple of games since the All-Star break, since he almost won the All-Star MVP, I guess. But it is a good matchup, and he's projecting pretty well. But his ownership's going to be high too. So I know. He's fine. But aside from that, there are other guys you could play. Like you could play Ayton again. Back to that Phoenix-Detroit game. Ayton's got a really good matchup here again.
Mm-hmm.
Vooch might be. I was about to say might be lower owned, but I guess he won't be either. The two guys that I'm willing to go to again. One is, I'm presuming obviously Drummond is out. Is I might, if I don't want to play Kevin Love, and I do want to, but in lineups I don't play Kevin Love, I might go back to Tristan Thompson again. He's pretty reasonable here at Fanduel at 5K. And it is a high-paced matchup. I just think that he's active enough where he could probably have a really good game. But aside from him, the guy I'm putting in here for now, which is just kind of filling in what is now looking to be kind of a Memphis situation for me, is going to be Valanciunas, maybe, just as a tournament play. Again, like his minutes are certainly not anything stable or you can count on, but if you do, he can certainly, he's like one of those guys that could put up, as I said, you know, 40 fantasy points in the first half if you want. And it's not like Harry Giles is any like tremendous defender that I'm worried about, you know. So you want to take a long shot. I don't think he's going to be owned at all, if you want to know the truth. So, and considering I'm starting to like some of these Memphis guys like Morant and Fox and things like that, I think that you could play Valanciunas. And considering I want to maybe do a Love Williamson thing, maybe I could do some Tristan Thompson without Love and do a different power forward there. I'm starting to get a feel for where I'm going to go on this very long slate. And this particular build, I was able to kind of get Booker in as kind of just like, you know, kind of a chalky one-off, you know what I mean, without, you know, just going too nuts. And this one also got, you know, a Beal with a very chalky but valuable Bojan in that game. And this has the one-off of Touré and Prince in there. So I do like Valanciunas a little bit here. I always do in tournaments. And again, I wonder, like you were kind of trying to not needling me, but getting at me before, is whether I'm being a little bit too contrarian with some of this stuff. But
no, I like the Valanciunas call a ton.
Okay.
The guys I'm leaning towards, I don't have there's going to be 5 guys I'm basically splitting between, I guess 6. It'll be Thompson, Gobert, Vucevic, Joval, Ayton, and Jokic. I love Jokic for tournaments. I just think this is the tournament play that I'm interested in, and at completely no ownership, he's only 800 more than Vucevic and Ayton, and he's got a ceiling of $1 million in a competitive game. I just think I'm going to have to take that shot there. But I do like Thompson a ton, and I do like Gobert. Probably going to lower Gobert, my love for Gobert just a little bit, just because I do like some of these other guys a lot, and I don't feel like I'm Gobert will kill you here and there, and this might be the matchup where he does it because of all the rim attacking and all that. But I don't know. I don't know where I stand with it. I basically have all those guys rated pretty similarly. I think I might drop Ayton out of there just because at this price, when it's only 800 more, when I could play Vooch, I think I would just prefer to either play Vooch or play Jokic. But it's not by a ton. I mean, I do like all those guys. So that's pretty much where I'm at.
Yeah. I'll just throw in a guy who just looks to be rating pretty well. I don't want to play DeAndre Jordan. I don't know.
Oh, no way for me.
Yeah. Okay.
No, this is a trap here with DeAndre Jordan. I'm just going to tell everybody. The other night, I mean, well, it always is. Look, he can always have a big game, but the other night, Jared Allen fouled out in 18 minutes, gave DeAndre Jordan all to run. He's not going to play 30 minutes again without something extraordinarily unusual happening. So I would lean way, way, way heavier on Jared Allen at power forward than DeAndre Jordan at center.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right. So why is it the FanDuel seem easier than DraftKings?
It's just really easy to build things like this, and it's also really easy to get contrarian if you want to.
Well, because this lineup doesn't have Luka, it doesn't have Giannis. So
yeah, and you got Morant and Joval in there. It's a nice little game stack, little mini game stack you got.
It's and Fox is gonna get ruled out. It's just a joke.
What you do is you play that one, you enter it in the same tournament, and then you pivot. You make one with what's his name, one with Collins and Porter instead of Bogdanovich and Williamson or something like that. But I like this quite a bit.
I'm probably gonna end up. I'm probably actually gonna end up playing. I don't want to say more lineups on FanDuel. I don't know. I have to figure this out. I like the slate. I'm kind of into it though. First of all, I like the slate. I also like the fact that I'm not going out tonight, so I can be around to not play Westbrook when he's out, and to not play Wiggins when he's out, and to not, you know what I mean? So those types of things do kind of cut into your ROI a little bit when you play guys that are out. So we got to try to avoid that if at all possible.
Yeah, if at all possible. All right. Well, guys, good luck. Hopefully we were helpful. Join me at 4 Eastern for the QLTV show. Hopefully we'll have more information by then. And who knows? Maybe we might even do a little late
maybe
lineup block. We'll see. All right. For Sheets, I'm BobbyFi saying we'll see you at the top of the leaderboards tonight, guys. Good luck.